So President Obama has just delivered the 2014 State of the Union address. How did he do? Well, let me hop right to it. I give him a solid grade of A. Not A+, but a solid grade of A when it comes to his delivery. President Obama will go down in history, I believe, as a top-flight communicator. Among the last 10 presidents, I put him in the top 3 up there with Reagan and Clinton. Now, specifically, I'll address what he did well. For those of you interested in what he did wrong, there are a few minor points. He did stumble over about 4 or 5 words by my count. Nothing major, nothing egregious, and he didn't wince or beat himself up the way some people do when they make mistakes. Here, I just made one right there. So he did an excellent job of not magnifying his mistakes, but still less than perfect. That's why I'll give him an A+. He does one thing wrong with the teleprompter, and he's a good teleprompter reader, but he's a little too consistent of looking at this pane for a certain amount of time and then going to this pane of glass for the same amount of time and then back. People who are really good at it will mix it up. Maybe 5 seconds here, maybe 15 seconds here, then maybe 5 seconds right in the middle where you're remembering what you just read over here. So a little more variety in how he uses the teleprompter as far as how he looks, where he looks. It would be better. The final area where I fault him is he still doesn't have that magical ear for the memorable expression, that turn of phrase, that soundbite that lives on, days, weeks, months, years, even decades after the address. He hasn't been great at that, but all in all, I still think he is a fabulous communicator and is up there with Reagan and Clinton, is one of the top 3 of the last 10 presidents in terms of communication skills. Now, what specifically did he do well? Everything from the right hand gestures, the head moving, the body leaning, excellent use of voice. One of the things Obama does so well, he whispers. He softens his voice to make a point. Too many speakers, too many politicians feel the only way to make a point is to be louder and to yell. He doesn't do that. He'll occasionally raise his voice, but he also softens it. Now, the real art of using a teleprompter comes down to just a handful of things. For starters, it means sometimes speaking louder, sometimes speaking softer, sometimes faster, sometimes slower, and sometimes pausing. That's what you have to do to be great at the teleprompter, and Obama is a master of that. And some of you may think I'm saying that as a criticism. No, Ronald Reagan was great at using the teleprompter. And as you may recall, Bill Clinton was even great without a teleprompter because one year the wrong speech was loaded up in his teleprompter and he did a masterful job for 15 minutes or so. So it's not necessarily an easy thing to do using a teleprompter. Look at John McCain. Look at how George Bush did it the first 4 years in office. Not very good. What else did Obama do well? Great use of stories and examples. Every major point, whether it was his defense of Obamacare, what he's done regarding wartime areas around the world, he had the perfect anecdote of a real person there. He could point to the person, recount some of the dialogue, talk about their problems and how they'd overcome adversity. He didn't shy away from controversial issues like Obamacare. He, in fact, put forth his main selling points. He had the excellent example of a woman who had no health insurance, was able to get it with Obamacare, had surgery, saved her life. If she hadn't had it, she would have gone bankrupt. Now, you may be someone who absolutely hates Obamacare and Obama. That's fine, but I'm looking just at the presentation skills, how he communicated, and fair-minded people, I think, will give Obama very high marks. In the same way, a fair-minded liberal in the Reagan era would have said Reagan was a good communicator. There's really not much to criticize Obama on when it comes to how he presented, his style, the body mechanics, the tremendous variety of sentence structure, the conversational tone, just occasionally saying, see, here's how it gets. It's as if he's talking to someone. This is what Reagan did as well. Now, folks, I'm not Obama's coach, but I can guarantee you, I would stake my life on this, that he rehearsed this speech many, many, many times on video, because that's how great communicators do it. That's how Ronald Reagan did it. Bill Clinton did sometimes, but Clinton was so good, he's in another class, and he actually could give a great speech without rehearsal. But Obama rehearses, and it shows, because when he's reading his speech, he doesn't sound like he is reading a speech, my fellow Americans. He sounded like he was having a conversation. So these are lessons applicable to anyone. If you're giving a school report, or if you're giving a financial report to your board of directors, the key is you have to sound like you're just talking to someone. You can't sound like you're reading something, certainly not like you're reading something for the first time. I'm TJ Walker.